Hey everybody, this is Politics with Avi, and I'm Avi. First off, I wanted to start with apologizing for not having been online for so long, but unfortunately, I've been really busy, and so I couldn't make it anytime earlier. Today's episode will be named The Concept, Status, Subject, and Tasks of Political Science. Basically, political science is a science that has as its subject the disclosure of the essence of politics as an integral social phenomenon. As I have spoken in the first two episodes, I believe, politics can be many things, and therefore it needs to be identified as a subject matter with the academic definition, and thereafter we can point towards what are its specifics and so on and so forth. So, as being a part of a integral social phenomenon, one, the identification at the macro and micro levels of its necessary structural elements, internal and external affairs and relations must be pointed out. Two, determination of the main trends and patterns operating in various socio-political systems, the nearest and final development prospects. And third, the development of objective criteria for the social dimensions of politics. The object of political science is politics in itself, obviously, the political sphere of society. There are three levels to learning politics: political theory, studying the most general laws of formation, development, and change of political systems, concepts, and categories. Considering real political processes in relation to a specific stage of social development, development of the theory and methodology of the study of political science, of political life, I mean. So, case studies of political institutions, situations, activities of political actors. However, not only political science, but also other areas of humanitarian knowledge are related to the study of political science, like philosophy, sociology, political economy, psychology, geography, legal science, and other sciences. The concepts and categories developed at other levels of social knowledge are not mechanically transferred to the sphere of political science, but are filled with new content there. For example, the problem of consciousness in sociology is studied as a problem of group consciousness in the theory of state and law, as a problem of legal consciousness, and in political science as a problem of political consciousness. Since politics is a specific form of theoretical and practical activities of classes, nations, social groups, and individuals aimed at the conquest, retention, and use of political power itself is an important object of attention of political science. The definition of its essence and structure, the mechanism of the distribution and exercise of this power in society. And this can be best implemented only when politics is considered in a system of various ties and relationships, because in order to really know the subject, one must comprehensively study it. There are a number of practical and theoretical prerequisites that determine the importance of this branch of social knowledge, its inclusion in the structure of humanitarian education. So, first of all, these include practical needs because political science deals with such a massive social phenomenon as politics. To engage in politics in the context of the ongoing transformation is to consider social life from the point of view of what masses of people are involved in these transformations, how they perceive them, what social initiatives they're ready for, what kind of activity they're showing, and in addition, political science explores a special area of public life, the political one, in which the main levels of society management are concentrated: the state, parties, trade unions, other socio-political organizations. Not only the process of radical transformations, but also their results depends on how these organizations interact with each other, what content their activities will be filled with. There are obvious organizational needs, the emergence of which is due to the need to train specialists of the widest political profile, able to solve practical and theoretical problems. In addition, their theoretical and historical needs. As in any other field of public knowledge, the content of political science is most fully manifested in its functions. Amongst the most important functions of political science are theoretical, methodological, practical, and prognostic. The theoretical functions of political science, they're primarily aimed at developing the basic conceptual paradigms that explain the nature of the development of society at its different stages. The failure of the previous theoretical principles, such as the complete and final victory of socialism, developed socialism, to serve as truly scientific political paradigms, is caused not only by the fact that they were like divided or divorced from real social life, but also by the fact that they proceeded from its rigid economic, social, and structural, political, and spiritual ideological assignment. Today's process in our country, um, today's processes in our countries are in line with the paradigms of political pluralism, which actively declares itself in the late 80s. The process of its implementation took place according to the following scheme: pluralism of opinions, pluralism of actions, pluralism of organizations, pluralism of society as a whole. As for the methodological function of political science, it consists in equipping researchers with an effective way of knowing political reality. The reliability of this method depends on the degree to which it relies, on one hand, on general philosophical principles, laws, and categories applied in all areas of scientific knowledge, and on the other hand, on specific techniques and procedures developed by private sciences in the course of empirical analysis of various phenomena of social and natural life. So, general philosophical laws, principles, and categories that make up the methodological base of political science not only do not exclude, but on the contrary, suggest particular methods which, depending on the specifics of the study of various aspects of politics, are divided into differentiated analysis of social communities, their role in the political life. 2. Structural and functional analysis of political institutions. 3. Systems analysis of large and small political structures. 4. A comprehensive analysis of political leadership, and social management. 5. Communication analysis of the interaction of elements of the political process. 6. A method of comparing close and different political sciences. And 7. Methods of political planning and forecasting. Based on the above methods, a specific methodology for political research is being developed, which means a set of technical techniques, their sequence and relationship. Um, these methods, uh, these methods are essentially little different from those used in other areas of empirical research. They can be divided into the following three groups. The first includes those related to the collection of primary information, such as observation, examination of documents, surveys, etc. The second group consists of techniques used for processing and analyzing source data, description, classification, typology, statistical, mathematical analysis, etc. The third group includes such techniques that are used to test a scientific hypothesis or to achieve the corresponding effect in practical political activity. It should include primarily social experimentation and modeling. The use of the behavior approach to the study of political life, which developed primarily in behavioralism, which, despite its shortcomings, certainly has certain advantages, provides a lot. Firstly, it focuses on the use of quantitative methods of studying political phenomena that provide greater accuracy and objectivity. And secondly, it involves an analysis of the political behavior of people through the prism of their psychological attitudes. Speaking about the practical function of political science, one should bear in mind that two closely related aspects exist. The first aspect concerns the strengthening of the applied value of political science. It finds its expression primarily in its appeal to political life itself and responding to the needs of political practice. The second aspect of the practical function of political science relates to its relationship with the government. An important role in the life of modern society is played by the prognostic function of political science. This function involves, firstly, the determination of the near and distant prospects for the development of our society. The prognostic function presupposes, um, secondly, the holding of scientific expertise of the most significant political decisions in advance from the point of view of the reality of the affected expected from them. The prognostic function of political science involves, thirdly, the modeling of political processes and relations. The theoretical, methodological, practical, and prognostic functions of political science, to the greatest extent, reflect its connection with life. As a result of the implementation of these functions, political science acts as an acting science and not contemplative. Political science is the science of politics, that is, of the special sphere of people's life related to power relations with the state, political organization of society, political institutions, principles, norms, the operation of which is designed to ensure the functioning of society, the relationship between people, society, and the state. It emerged as an independent branch of scientific knowledge in the late 1940s. Before that, it was considered as one of the directions in philosophy. The object of study of political science is politics, political processes taking place in society. The subject of political science are institutions, phenomena, and processes that are different in nature, such as the history of the development of political doctrines and theories, political institutions, parties, movements, state, political systems, political culture, political behavior, political consciousness, public thought, international relations. The heart of the subject of political science is power, at least from the realist perspective. In international relations, there exist three perspectives, three paradigms. That's realism, rationalism, and revolutionary. I can't even say the word. Revolutionaryism. Revolution. It's like revolutionism. Yeah. So anyway, um, power being the state, and the state power being in the center of the subject. Um, Wait, what am I saying? State power being the central, having the most important property, is the subject matter of international relations. The paradigm realism. Yeah, anyway, so for political science, the heart of the subject is power in itself. Okay. So I kind of like confused you guys for a little while. Anyway, just stick to what I'm saying and not what I'm contemplating out loud. Obviously, I have too long of a break. But anyway, so of course, these problems are studied not only by political science, but also by philosophy, sociology, state and legal sciences, as I already mentioned, international relations, and so on and so forth. So political science studies themselves, integrating individual aspects of these disciplines. In the view of many scientists, the subject of political science is an interdisciplinary science, the subject of study of which are the trends and laws of the functioning and development of political life, which reflect the real processes of including political actors and activities with their realization of political power and political interest. But at the same time, many scholars adhere to the opposite point of view, believing that there are no special grounds for discovering eternal truths and unchanging political laws. In their opinion, supporters of the search for political laws often do not take into account the main thing that one theorist sees as progress turns out to be a regression for another. The problems that political science deals with can be divided into three large blocks, which are as the following. So, one, philosophical and ideological theoretical foundations of politics, system forming features, and the most important characteristics of the political subsystems, political phenomena that are characteristic of a particular historical period. Two, Political systems and political culture, differences and similarities between different political systems, their advantage and disadvantages, political regimes, the condition for their change, etc. 3. Political institutions, political processes, political behavior, etc. The tasks of political science, the formation of knowledge about politics, political activity, explanation and prediction of political processes and phenomena, political development, development of the conceptual apparatus of political science, methodology, and methods of political research. The functions of political science are organically connected with these tasks. The most important of them are the following: epistemological, axiological, managerial, the function of rationalizing political life, the function of political socialization. The method of political science, within the framework of a system management approach in political science, is a system of principles and techniques by which the uncertainty is removed, an objective knowledge of the political system of government in the state, as well as the political, social, economic, and other consequences of imperative political management. The role of political science within the framework of a system management approach in political science is to increase the socio-economic efficiency of activities as well as reduce the political risks of socio-economic actors. So, thank you guys so much for listening to my lecture on the concept, status, subject, and tasks of political science for today. I really hope it broadened up your knowledge about political science and definitely build up upon what we already revised in the first few lessons on the subject matter.